What is up, alienARMy? I am Oculus, the alien next door, purveyor of esoteric lore. And today, our esoteric topic, we are going to get into channeled messages of what Chiron in each house means. And that's basically it. Yeah, messages that I channeled regarding Chiron placements in each house. And as always, I will have listed below where you can find your Chiron house placement and sign. I do want to say for the house placement, you will need your exact time of birth. Okay, so let's get started. Chiron in the first house. With Chiron in the first house, the self-image and sense of individuality may be stunted or closed off subconsciously until the issue is recognized and healed accordingly. The native of this placement may find themselves not completely being their true self around others, in some cases even with themselves. The image of the self here may be skewed, and one may oftentimes feel at odds with their body and/or personality. They tend to restrict their true self and may even become prone towards being swayed easily by others' opinions of them. Once this skewed self-image has been recognized and resolved within the psyche, the native of the first house Chiron will find themselves breaking out of their proverbial shell, living in full expression of everything they are being in the moment. The moment is important for this individual, as once Chiron characteristics are healed here, the native shall be admired for who they truly are. They realize that they are whoever they are being in the moment, and are able to pinpoint insincerity in other beings quite easily. This individual is likely to be a great leader in whichever frontier they choose, and also have a natural affinity for seeing true genuinity in others and bringing hidden aspects of their selves out of their shell. Chiron in the second house. Chiron in the second house bestows the unhealed native with a distorted perception of material realm well-being of any kind. There may be a kaleidoscope of avenues pursued along the road of security, abundance, and personal wealth and power. There may be hidden jealousy and possessiveness here, which the individual does not even recognize within himself. At times, the native may hide and hoard everything from feelings to thoughts to physical objects. The key word here is mine, and a miserly outlook may be at the forefront of the unhealed second house Chiron's life. As this shadow is recognized and released, the native now is free to openly integrate generosity into their psyche, and emotional openness will bloom like the petals of the lotus flower. Someone with a healed second house Chiron is likely to be noted for their compassionate and giving nature, and the native is also great at spotting material realm trickery of others. This assures that acquaintanceships of any kind for this individual will be mutually receptive and beneficial to all involved, leaving no one and no thing in lack. Chiron in the third house. Chiron in the third house, of an unhealed variety, consists of insecurity and scatteredness of their logic and psyche. Very cerebrally inclined is this placement. An unhealed Chiron here may wreak havoc in the native's mental state. One may hide their intelligence, talk in circles as to avoid giving an answer, and manipulation of others is not out of the question. The individual with detrimental Chiron in the third house sometimes fails to utilize their own intuition regarding others, and typically seems to be hiding something. Once this aspect is healed, however, Chiron operates smoothly and confidently in the third house. This is someone who says the right thing in the right way at the right time to the right person. This individual is mentally savvy, quick-witted, and sharp, and also can spot a liar from miles away. A healed third house Chiron will bestow great mental and logical prowess upon the native, and this will be someone who can brainstorm their way through anything. A healed Chiron in this house delivers many social graces and a magical sense of linguistics. Chiron in the fourth house. Chiron in the fourth house, unhealed, indicates a native who may have abandonment issues of all kinds and sorts. This individual may never truly feel at home or at ease, sometimes even whilst sleeping in their warm, comfortable bed. There may be a constant sense of scarcity in their environment, and they may be on a quite the mission to soothe their soul and find peace within themselves. The detrimental Chiron in the fourth house brings about a persona which always appears to be on edge, never quite settling down and planting roots anywhere. Once Chiron has been healed, however, blessings of security shall wash upon the native in all ways. They are now able to feel at home anywhere they go, and everyone they encounter becomes like a pseudo-family to them. They are quite at ease in the company of strangers, and likewise, those they have just met feel a sense of kinship with them. The healed Chiron in house number 4 recognizes that his home on this planet is his body, and his soul and psyche reside there in peace, no matter how far they travel. Chiron in the fifth house. Chiron in the fifth house of an unhealed nature consists of an individual who has not a great sense of fun. Suspicion and mistrust of others run rampant in this native's psyche, and they dare not have a good time even at their own party. This individual seems to be unfamiliar with their own magical life force energy and may be quite cynical and cautious in regards to how they operate towards others. A veil of unease in social settings may be prevalent around them, even if they are not truly aware of it. The other is typically seen as a threat or competition. Once Chiron in the fifth house is healed, a vastly different persona emerges from their psyche. They are the life of the party. They view all as potential new friends. They have a natural exuberance and jovial nature which hovers around them like a sweet perfume. Having healed this aspect of themselves, the fifth house Chiron native understands the nature of others and is very adept at interpreting social cues and gestures. They can be quite charming and approachable, as well as having the unusual talent for always bringing out the best in everyone they meet. Chiron in the sixth house. Chiron in the sixth house of an unhealed version indicates a native who may be quite rigid, perfunctory, and anal throughout their daily life and their dealings with others. There may be a condescending air about them and the tendency to look down upon others who they perceive as less efficient. This is an individual who constantly wants to fix things and have them go their way, though it may oftentimes be disguised as being helpful or knowing what's best. There may be a hidden desire to smother others and to coerce them into doing things their way, though this is often not recognized upon self-reflection. Once healed, Chiron in the sixth house makes a great healer, holistic practitioner, or medicine man. No longer are their views on helping others discombobulated. Now, the native steps into their power and is able to ascertain who is actually requesting their help and who they would be better off leaving to their own devices. A healed Chiron in the sixth house is someone who has such unwavering faith in their healing abilities that they no longer subconsciously seek out those in misfortune who may take advantage of them. They are aware that not everyone requires saving and/or rehabilitation. They help gladly those who appreciate them, and they also allow others to help them when needed as well. Chiron in the 7th house. Chiron in the 7th house, unhealed, bestows the native with a dysfunctory outlook and awareness of relations with the other. This is an individual who seems to flit around from relationship to relationship, best friend to best friend, favorite family member to favorite family member, etc., etc., etc. There tends to be no stable relationship of any kind because subconsciously the native is not comfortable being alone with themselves. They seek solace and approval in the arms of others and may quite often become let down and heartbroken, only to sweep it under the rug and disacknowledge their true feelings about the circumstance. Emotional turmoil involving other people may be prevalent in the unhealed native of Chiron in the 7th house. As they progress into awakening, however, and Chiron's characteristics have been sufficiently explored, understood, and healed, the native now understands the elements of human experience relationships to a T. No longer does he meander from partner to partner. He now intuits at a glance the perfect partner for him. There is a sincere substance to their psyche, and the native much rather would choose quality over quantity in terms of the company they keep. The healed version of Chiron in the 7th denotes one who gives and receives equally in all of their intrapersonal relationships and is rewarded in kind by the other. Chiron in the 8th house. Chiron in the 8th house, unhealed, reveals a native who may have blockages regarding their own turbulent emotions and the depth of their psyche. There may be an aversion to real talk with others involving their feelings and desires, and the native with this placement may be so secretive that they even hide things from themselves. This is the realm of shutting off or blocking things out, to such an extent that it may take another person or a shattering event to coax it out of them. This is someone who tends to be in fear of their own feelings and desires. Once healed, Chiron's placement in the 8th house brings out a great psychologist or detective, anyone who is not afraid to break out the scuba gear and dive deep. They will find a deep sense of peace when embroiled in the psyche of others' uncharted psychological territory. The native is very much in tune with their inner hunches and has an air of authority surrounding them regarding matters of the internal psyche. Chiron in the 8th house, once healed, makes for an excellent confidant, a loyal friend, and a trustworthy counterpart because of their innate ability to always gauge accurately the other's innermost needs. Chiron in the 9th house. Chiron in the 9th house, when unhealed, may lead to someone who refuses to take risks, think outside the box, or get out of their proverbial comfort zone. The native of this placement very much wants to explore the unknown, but can be quite fearful of taking that first step into uncharted territory. This is someone who has great ideas but fails to act upon them in their physical domain. They refuse to take that leap of faith and can even force themselves into a routine that they dislike simply to avoid experiencing anything new. Once Chiron in the 9th house is healed and fully integrated into the psyche, the native does a drastic 180. Now, they are living the life of their dreams and taking others along on the ride with them. They enjoy every single second of their journey, and lucky opportunities seem to present themselves at will, all in orchestration for this individual. They have a unique knack for picking the right people to be around them, and they may be recognized as being quite the motivational speaker. A healed CHIRON in the 9th house brings with it much expansion and spontaneity, and life will seem to dance to the rhythm of the native's own drum. CHIRON in the 10th house. CHIRON in the 10th house, when unhealed, leaves the native with underconfidence in the realm of their own personal dynamic and power. There may be a tendency to be weak-willed, or at least perceive themselves to be. There may be feelings of insecurity involving their career or external environment. Jobs may never fully fulfill them, and they may have issues with building sustenance for their future. They may materially rely on others through coercion or manipulation, and they may even swindle themselves out of great opportunities due to fear of failure. Once the 10th house CHIRON has been healed, however, the native finds himself in a career he loves, more than enough money in the bank, and a multitude of successful investments at his fingertips. He is a phenomenal leader and inspires others to follow their dreams as well. This is an individual who knows what he wants and knows exactly how to get it. He may also enjoy sharing his teachings with his many protégés, and during his lifetime he may accrue a large following of like-minded individuals who seek his counsel and guidance. CHIRON in the 11th house. CHIRON in the 11th house, unhealed, indicates an individual who may be painfully shy, or at the very least find themselves to be unnoticed by their peers. They may be the perpetual wallflower, and in some instances try even harder to blend in with the crowd. Notoriety is not their thing, and the native may indeed shun and/or mock any and all types of social achievement or recognition. They might relish their ability to blend in, but at the same time be very disconcerted about it. The unhealed CHIRON in the 11th house tends to forego any type of association with those around them. Healed, however, is another story. The healed CHIRON of this placement is easily recognized no matter what he does. He is not trying to blend in, neither is he actively seeking to be noticed. His natural affability towards others and otherworldly aura have him making waves while still lounging on the sand. Healed CHIRON in the 11th house brings the native great insight with others and a high level of perception in his environment. He makes friends wherever he goes and is revered for his own unique outlook of things. This placement allows the native to showcase his true talent during this lifetime, his charming eccentricity. CHIRON in the 12th house. CHIRON in the 12th house, when not yet healed, brings us an individual who absolutely refuses to believe in anything they cannot physically see. At the bare minimum, they refuse to believe in their own magical abilities. This may be someone who fears the psychic realms and thus so shuts them off. There may be a strong psychic prowess here, however the native is either too scared or too cynical to delve into those realms. An over-exaggeration of logic and critical thinking may be prevalent in order to stamp out things of a spiritual nature. This is someone who likes to look but fails to see. Once CHIRON is healed in the 12th house, the individual finally recognizes their own talents and gifts and fears the psychic realm no more. They have learned to breed intuition with logic, and the final result is enchanting. This individual can read others like a book and has an uncanny sixth sense for their surroundings. When properly executed, CHIRON in the 12th house may bring about shamanistic tendencies and profound channeling abilities. This is someone who mingles easily with both the material realm and the ethers. The ability to heal others and perform magic may be heightened here, and the native benefits greatly from meditation in any form he pleases. Alright, so that brings about the conclusion of this video, this little channeled chit-chat session with Chiron in the houses. And as always, it is our intention that you take what resonates, and if it doesn't resonate, then the message was not meant for you. Please always utilize your own inner guidance and your own intuition. The Chiron finding links will be below in the description box. As always, peace, good vibes, namaste blessed. I am Oculus, the alien next door. Namaste blessed, because you are.